It's Friday, March 29th, 2024. Welcome to your new and final backcountry snowpack summary brought to you by North Shore Rescue for this season. It's been a bit of a roller coaster of a year after probably the worst start of a season that I've seen in about 20 years. We had seemingly this season two big storms, one in early January and one in early March. And somehow these two storms managed to also bring us some of the best skiing I've seen on the North Shore in about 2 decades. The storm in March also brought in the persistent weak layer problem that's been plaguing the sea to sky area. It hasn't really been too much of an issue down here on the North Shore, but the northern part of the region or the inlet zone reaching to Sky Pilot and Ben Lomond area, that layer is still there and has produced some really big avalanches. It's dormant at the moment, but it's definitely not out of the question that it will wake up a little bit later in the spring. As far as avalanche activities and incidents, we had this full burial on Mount Seymour, which involved significantly more luck than one could reasonably expect, and that resulted in a happy outcome. There's also rumors of another incident that wasn't reported, but of a snowboarder that may have gotten carried in an avalanche and broke some bones, but the party was able to self-rescue and it wasn't officially reported. We had people getting lost in avalanche terrain at night during high hazard, leading the team to have to stick their neck out quite a bit, and also in that case of a third party helping with the rescue, triggering an avalanche and getting buried up to their neck. But all things considered, we're actually coming out of the season reasonably unscathed. But the season is not over, even though this is the last video. We did receive about 25 centimeters of snow in the last 3 days. Definitely a little bit more in areas that get more accumulation because of winds. So if you want to know more about this snow, what it means for the weekend with the warming trend that's coming and the sunshine coming for Easter long weekend, and also what's below that all the way down to the ground, stick around for the snowpack discussion. For a final profile, we picked west aspect, just a little bit below 1200 meters. And so during this week at the weather station, we had like about 25 centimeters of cumulative precip. But of course, there's a fair bit of wind, especially from the southeast. So here on the west aspect, we actually got quite a bit more deposition. So we have about 45 centimeters of snow that fell in the last 3 days. And this snow is very coastal. It's quite moist. It skis quite well. But it's really not very reactive. So at the moment, I think that the only thing we can expect from that is a little bit of pinwheeling and not a whole lot more. As you move down into the older snow, essentially what you have is just an isothermal snowpack. So it's super weak. It's big crystals, quite a bit of moisture in it, and it's like that all the way down to the ground. Here on this site, by probing, we could find that there was about 3.5 meters of snow here, which is definitely a little bit low for this time of the season. So as we're moving towards the weekend, we're expecting actually pretty nice weather. It's supposed to be sunny and quite warm, and the big concern will be wet loose in the top 25 to 45 centimeters. So probably not very big avalanches, but again, it is, being the end of March, is still low tide. There's still terrain traps that are exposed that are not necessarily there typically this late in the season. So that's gonna be sort of the biggest source of concern for the North Shore this weekend. Wet loose avalanches running in the top 20 to 40. And pair that with a terrain trap. It's very difficult to get out of these wet, loose avalanches. So definitely a little bit of extra caution. So this is all I have for this season. Although, you know, last year I said that and then came back again with a condition update because we were still doing avalanche control on April 18th. So maybe we'll see each other again later in the spring. But as of now, that's all I have for this season. Thanks for watching. Have a great spring and summer, and we'll see you maybe next year.